What's up guys, my name is Section from the Deviants and today we're going to be reacting to Fruits Basket Season 3 Episode 11. In the last episode we had relationships happening. We have Kurono telling Uotani that like, hey, I'm going to be leaving, and Uotani's like, okay, I can wait, you can, if you want to step back, you can, but I'll always be here for you. So I like to believe that they're going to be moving in together. And then you had Maji calling Yuki saying, hey, can you come over? And then Yuki just running out the door. And before that we had a little moment between Kyo and Yuki when they finally told each other that like, hey, they envy each other, or they look up to each other, or jealous of each other, whatever you want to call it. And Yuki gave Kyo a pep talk saying that he's the only one that can make Toru happy, so go out there and make her happy. So at the very end, Kyo went to the hospital. As soon as Toru came out of the hospital, Toru saw him and then started running away. So maybe we're just gonna start from there. Without further ado, let's get straight on into it. Make sure to original content as always. All right, let's get going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Ooh, first person view.
Toru,
No
we're
Russian.
taking you home.
That's sweet of you. Thanks a lot.
The way she does it.
My feet, they just started running. I don't understand. This isn't right.
No, it's not.
It's not what I planned. What I meant to do.
Oh dang, he got caught up
smile.
quick. What?
He got dumped, huh?
He got dumped. I handled that all wrong. I decided that since it was over, then at least...
If there's anything else you think you might need, just say the word.
Thank you. I should be all right for now. Fit as a fiddle.
Listen, about Kyo.
Sorry, ignore me.
Your injury!
I bet the laundry is really piled up, huh? And the
Try and
dust,
change
too.
subject.
Oh, and what about the grocery shopping? Toilet paper. There's this pain in my chest. Fridge.
I'm disappointed in you.
It hurts. I can't go on like this.
Yo, you better fix it.
I need to move forward. Find some way to get past it. I decided I'd smile the next time I saw him.
Didn't turn out right.
Practiced, smiling over and over again. But it was no use. I would smile and accept that this is the way things are. If I could just do that, it would be all right.
Grab her.
But I want to be with him. Wait, stay back, please. Just for a bit. It's no use. I can't control them. I don't want to upset him. I don't want him to
And you
hate
can't
me.
hug and comfort her
I
because
don't
you
want
just
him
turn
to
into a cat. Unless you want to.
Even more
It's fine.
disappointed in me.
He's not going to be disappointed.
I was completely selfish, wasn't I?
Heck
I
yeah.
just confessed all my own sins. Said everything I wanted to say. And trampled all over your feelings. And then I ran. I'm sorry for making you cry.
Heck yeah.
I'm sorry I hurt you so much. This is the last time. I'm fine with that. What I want is to be with you. Because I love you.
Heck yeah. Finally say it.
So,
Can you just say you're not disappointed?
does that mean I'll stay by your side?
Heck yeah.
That we'll be together?
You know, you already are.
Even if it's been said dozens.
You know what? Just hug him. You can carry him.
This really is like a dream.
She didn't kiss back,
You
but
may
it's
not
fine.
remember, but that was our second kiss.
It was? But
Yeah,
when?
guess I shouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
I think you were
You're gonna
unconscious
have to remember it on
the
your
first
own.
time.
You think I could
He's so tall.
hold you?
Haven't you figured it out yet?
She doesn't care.
It's okay. Because I love you no matter what. I love you. I swear.
There's nothing to be afraid of now. Not if you're with me.
I mean, there's still water. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it? I'm sorry, what?
I was jealous. That was it. I resented you.
How did it... Okay.
Compared to me, you're so pure and
You would think
pretty.
that his thing got broken, but he didn't notice it.
The thing is, though, I'm really not. You think we're so different because I'm pure and pretty. But the truth is, so are you. When you
Keep up with the
cried
compliments.
out, you were beautifully, heartbreakingly pure. I'm someone who's trying to destroy the world, you know. The future you always believed in. The reasons behind it don't change the fact that I'm hurting you. Or lessen the pain.
I mean, okay, yeah, not wrong.
If you think you could still bring yourself to be friends with me, then I'd like that.
Like, yeah.
I'll say this much. You're
Say yes.
persistent.
Yeah.
There'll be time later, right? And new beginnings.
Was that the dad?
Once upon a time, a certain person lived high atop a mountain.
Oh, that's
many long years.
the first person that we saw.
Though isolated at its summit,
The one that was petting the
they
cat.
knew that many people lived at the foot of the mountain. And yet, they still remained alone. In truth, they were afraid of people.
And they were lonely.
Afraid of being judged. Of being hurt. Then one day, a cat paid a visit to the mountain. I have been observing you for some time. You are a deeply mysterious personage. I cannot help but feel drawn to you. I pray you will allow me to stay by your side. Please, oh God. Perhaps, God thought, those who are also unlike humans would be willing to be my friends. Perhaps we could enjoy a banquet together.
Okay.
And so God wrote many, many invitations. In time, 12 creatures arrived. Come to the mountain to see God. Thus it began. God and the 13 animals held banquet after banquet,
The third.
gathering whenever the moon shone. But then one night, the cat collapsed.
What?
There was nothing to be done. The animals began to cry, and they realized it wasn't just the cat. Eventually, they would all die. The
Yeah.
banquets would end. But then, God chanted the words of a spell and traced a circle around a sake cup's rim. Bringing the liquid to the dying cat's mouth, God fed it a sip from the cup, and turning to the others said, "Here and now I make the bonds between us eternal."
You know, it sounds like a good thing at the time.
God's guests all nodded firmly, and the rat sipped from the oath cup. The ox followed, and then the tiger, the rabbit, and the rest in order, sealing their vow. The cat began to weep feebly. God, why did you make me drink from that cup? I neither need nor want eternity. Saddened by the cat's pronouncement, they rebuked and admonished their fellow guest. The cat continued, "God, things must end. We are mortal. Let us accept these truths, scary and lonely though they are. If we do meet again in the cycle of death and rebirth, I hope it is not only by moonlight. I would like to know what your smile looks like, illuminated by the sun, with a final flick of its tail." The cat fell down and died. Sometime later, the other animals began to die, one by one, and then, at long last, God's death came as well. But, strengthened by their promise, and knowing this end would lead to a new beginning. God was unafraid. I may be lonely now, but I won't despair, because everyone is waiting for me on the other side of that promise.
I can let go now. Right, Father? It's okay to stop being special and just be me, isn't it?
Yeah.
To start a life that's truly my own. I don't know who'll love me now, but... goodbye.
Mine. Mine?
Did everyone feel it?
Here, boss. You need something? It'll be a while
Is he
till
crying?
lunch is ready, though.
I was born to be with you. To love you. At last, I can say it.
Dang, so that all it took was
What's
for her
wrong?
to accept it?
Ritsu, are you all right? Are you hurt?
Oh, hello, Ritsu. Long time no see.
Saying goodbye.
It's painful, isn't it? Lonelier than you would think.
Cry with me, please. There's nothing we can do.
Hatori, you better go and talk to the teacher.
We lost what we had, and we're left with
How do
no
you feel, Shigure?
guarantees.
So this is what it feels like.
Wait, hold on. When did you get the scratch?
As we cling to hope for tomorrow, please, do this much. Cry. Like we did when we were first born into the world. Goodbye.
I don't know why that face, cause... And now the beads are in the cup?
When did that promise become a curse? The days we spent together were happy
Showing him that he
ones.
doesn't have the thing on.
We didn't want them to end, and happiness turned to sorrow.
You better
sorry.
hug Reen.
I'm so sorry. What I want to say more than anything is thank you.
Get over here.
It would be many long years before the cat's plea, fervent and honest, was finally heard.
That was nice.
You-
Okay, so I get how everybody else's curse got broken. It was basically Akito, aka the god, finally hearing what Toru / the original cat said. Now, obviously, Toru didn't say the exact same thing as the cat. But what the cat said was like, hey, I don't want to live forever. Like, let the time that we have, the short time that we have, be something that we look back and appreciate. The reason why we have such a great time is because the time that we have is minimal and it has an end. And Akito accepted that this has to end. Like, it eventually has to end, and let it end right now. Now, with that being said, going back and trying to figure out why everybody else's got broken ahead of time is kind of a confusing part, because it's like they themselves didn't do it. Was it Akito just like unknowingly like thinking to herself like, hey, this has to end, thus breaking the curse for random people? I don't know. Like, I don't know why it, like, I understand why it happened in this episode. I don't know why the curse broke in the previous episodes. Okay, starting from the beginning, the reason why Toru ran away is because she still has that idea that Kyo is disappointed in her. And that breaks her because she loves Kyo. She wants to do everything for Kyo. But the fact that to her, it seems like Kyo doesn't want to be with her and wants nothing to do with her is what she's trying to fight. And it's easier for her to fight it when he's not like in the vicinity. But finally, he explains the truth, which is basically he loves her, which tells her everything that she needs to know. So they are now a thing. Now they hug and nothing happens, which when I first watched it, it confused me because I was like, okay, he's not turning into a cat, which means his curse could be broken. But usually, well, at least what we've seen in the past is when the curse gets broken, that individual has like an immediate response. Like they felt something change in their personality and they feel a lot more lonelier. So to see that not happen with Kyo and then this happen, it confused me for a little bit. But then it shifts to Akito talking with Toru and Toru trying to level with Akito, because Akito looks at Toru as this angel of a being. Like she's the best, she does everything right, she's beautiful, yada yada yada. But Toru lays it all straight, like, hey, you know, yeah, I'm beautiful, whatever, but my sole focus this whole time was destroying the world that you wanted, thus making you unhappy in the process. And I knew that, and I proceeded to keep on doing it. So I am without fault. So, well, I am faulted as well. So you know my flaws, I know your flaws, let's just be friends. Thus giving Akito the acceptance to let everyone go. And then we get to the story of the actual Zodiac. Now I find it interesting of how they kind of twisted the original story to fit this narrative. Like I believe in the original narrative, the cat gets tricked and it doesn't go to the thing. But this one, it seems like the cat was the reason for all this in the first place. The god felt alone and isolated from everybody else. The cat comes in and says like, hey, you know, let me stand by you, let me hang out with you, and let's just be friends. Which then makes the god be like, hey, you know, if I can find more people that are not like humans and then hang out with them, I won't feel as lonely. So that's what they do. They send out all these invitations. Obviously, only 12 come back, or 12 people come. And then the cat, it collapses, thus making them all create this sort of pact together, saying like, hey, the cat collapsing is a reminder to us all that we are not going to last forever. So in order for us to stay connected, we're going to do this whole ritual so that we live forever. And they do this, they bind it, they gave the cat the first sip, which is crazy to think because, like, yes, in the original story, the cat's not even there. And the rat is the first to come. But this one, not only was the cat the first to join the god, but he was the first to take the sip. At the very end of all this ritual, the cat woke up from their coma or whatnot, and they were like, hey, I didn't want to be a part of this. Like, why did you make me sip? And it was those words that made the Zodiacs turn on the cat, which is crazy to think because like the cat was the first. But instead of everybody like thinking about what the cat said, they immediately dismissed them, thus creating the rift between the Zodiacs, the god, and the cat. And it's crazy to think the story in and of itself is about loneliness. Like the reason why the god did this in the first place is because he felt lonely. He did not feel like he was part of the humans. So I feel as though it's like poetry that Akito feels the same way. But another thing that gets lost in translation is the fact that the god, even though he was the god, he sat at the dinner equal to everybody else. Like it was the bond itself and the party itself that made the god equal or feel equal, and in turn not lonely because they're around everybody else. So in one final swoop, she just lets everyone go. And I find it interesting how when she let everyone go, she asked everyone to cry with her, as if it was like one final hurrah of something that they did together so that Akito does not feel alone. And now everyone feels it, and they finally get to do the stuff they've been wanting to do this whole time. And then it goes to Shigure, and he's obviously just like, huh, I guess this is what it feels like. Now, what is this scratch? Like, knowing Akito's old self, I would have been like, oh yeah, she scratched him or whatnot. But he did something. I think they're in the Soma state. I don't know what that is. Maybe it was Rin. But I find this all fantastic. I believe there's like 1 or 2 more episodes. And what I want from at least one of them is to show Akito finally having a dinner with the Zodiac members without them having to go, but because they want to go. And her finally experiencing not being lonely. I think that would be a fitting end, or at least for the show. Because I just think everybody else's has almost wrapped up. But anyways, that was my reaction to Fruits Basket Season 3, Episode 11. If you like my reaction, make sure to like, subscribe. If you guys want me to know anything more, put in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.